the meeting, the October 8th, 2025 meeting.
Oh, he's flashing you.
The mic's not on.
Even after you reminded me. Okay, I'll start over. So the October 8th, 2025 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. Our next meeting will be November 12th. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether or not a violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'll ask that all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to please stand and be sworn in by the city clerk. That's for Rod.
Is that
That's for Rod, yeah.
you go?
Oh,
No, Your Honor, I'm gonna be, no, they're not gonna be providing testimony.
Are you going to be, anybody there from us? Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that the testimony you provide the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Okay, ex parte communications. At this time, I'd like to ask all board members if they've had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide a copy to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting down here.
I've had none.
I've had none.
Had none.
Had none?
I've had none. I've had none.
Very good, thank you. Approval of minutes. Hopefully everybody had a chance to review the September 10th, 2025 minutes. If there's no additions, edits, or revisions, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to
We
approve.
have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Okay, next, hearings. As per usual, we will be taking cases out of order. So it's going to be easier if I just go, starting with the first one and tell you what number that is. So starting with 252420, that's going to be case number 7.
So, okay.
Case 2526 will be number 8. 2841 will be number 4. 2911 will be case number 1. 2999 will be case number 5. 3171 will be case number 3. 3664 will be case number 2. 3673 will be case number 6, and then we'll move on to unfinished business. Okay, I believe we are ready to start.
Case number 252911, City versus Edie Antonio Fabrera Escobar, for the property located at 6125 Liberty Avenue. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1, permits application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated from Community Development on July the 21st, 2025. My inspection revealed no permit for a driveway expansion. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of the 31st of July, 2025. My inspection on July the 31st, 2025 noted no change Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of 6th of August, 2025. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested a copy to be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on July the 21st, 2025. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door.
Accept that, thank you.
As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Good. Any questions for the code officer?
Do you have any pictures of the actual violation, or?
It's work without, no permit for the driveway expansion, so really there was no, I mean, I could have shot a picture of the driveway, but I guess I didn't.
Okay, and they complied with the stop work order or whatever you?
Yes, they did stop.
Any other questions? Rod?
Did they build anything?
No, they did. It just looked like they were trying to start putting some rocks down or some shells down beside the driveway, and they didn't have the permit to be able to do that. So that's what the whole thing is of this. It's just no permit for the driveway expansion of what they were wanting to do.
And compliance would consist of just getting a permit.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions? Is the respondent here?
No, sir, but I believe their attorney is here that would. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I have been in
Before you start, name and address.
Karina Fuller. I represent the respondent in this case.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Board Counsel, I've been in constant communications with Mr. Mueller. We are not disputing the notice requirements. My client did begin building an expansion of his driveway without a permit, but we are working with the city and with the building officials to remedy that. I can advise this board that my client did get a survey done on Friday, October 3rd. One of the purposes of the survey was because it's my understanding that we cannot expand the driveway more than 25% of what the total space is. So in order to submit the proper application for a permit, we need to know how much we could expand the driveway consistent with what the survey says. My understanding based off my client's representations to me is that the survey, he should have the results in the actual survey by tomorrow, Thursday, October 9th. At that time, we will be submitting a permit for the driveway expansion. We are working with a general contractor as well. Prior to this hearing, we had an opportunity, when I say we, myself, the respondent, my client, the general contractor met with the building code officials, I believe this gentleman, I don't recall your name, this gentleman, and we have a plan, okay, to remedy not only this violation, but prospective violations that are probably coming down the pipe, most likely. And so we're here in good faith to just let you know that the survey was conducted on last Friday, and we should have those results tomorrow. And then the only reason that we haven't submitted the driveway permit prior to today's date is because we need the survey to be able to see how much we're going to be expanding.
Do you know about when, let's assume that you get the survey tomorrow, as you stated.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think that you will have the permit into the city, a permit application?
I explained to my client that if the general contractor doesn't get it in, I will personally do it myself, or at least try to submit via email the survey, the survey with the application. I could advise candidly that I will be traveling to Georgia tomorrow for my husband's cousin's wedding, but I will be working remotely once I get into Georgia. But I'm hoping to have it done with either by this week or the next week.
Okay. And question for,
Definitely within the next 30 days, because we don't want any fines to start accruing.
well, right, we don't either. How long does it take once you get the application, generally speaking?
Everything's there, it's usually a week.
A week? Okay.
That's the goal. And again, I wasn't personally at the property on Friday when the survey was done. I'm just getting this information
Oh, I get
with
it.
my client, so.
Any other questions for the respondent? Thank you, you can have a seat. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Right, I'll start it. I'll start it off. Okay. In case number 25-2911, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the city of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 6125 Liberty Avenue. And the code section is 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1. Permits required. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith and Ms. Fuller, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before, what's the next date? November 12th, 2000,
Yes, November 12th.
2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second by Brian. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. So your client has been found in violation. You have 30 days until November 12th to basically get the permit. If for some reason something happens, you can't get the permit, it gets hung up somehow, you or them will have to come back on November 12th. And at that time, you can request an extension. There is no guarantee you will get one, but you are welcome to ask for one. Okay? Thank you. Next case?
Case number 25-3664, City versus Ananda Salvaraj and Josephine Salvaraj for the property located at 7908 Terrace Ridge Drive. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-763 tree removal regulations and Section 12-76. Oh, the first one was 768, sorry.
Yes.
Tree removal regulations in Section 12-763 tree removal penalty. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case was originated proactively on September the 16th, 2025. My inspection noted there was an oak tree in the front yard that had been topped. At this time, I prepared a notice of a violation, irreversible violation letter. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door, and I requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence showing the violations.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the front yard oak tree as being topped. As of today's date, the site remains out of compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Is the response? Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
What conversations have you had with the homeowner?
The gentleman, in speaking to the gentleman, he, I guess, didn't want the tree there. Had you know, there was some apprehension as far as hurricanes and so forth and so on, and you wanted to do a little remodeling of the tree. Well, that was what you did. You remodeled it and you topped it to avoid maybe potential something happening with hurricanes, so forth and so on. I would imagine that was the reason why that it was done.
And this might be more for the arborist, but what, was it an unhealthy or dangerous tree?
It didn't look like it. I mean, it doesn't look like it's unhealthy to me, but I'm not an arborist. It looks green. It looks good, except for its top now,
Okay.
which is not good. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Joe Ferris, City Arborist. As far as the health of the tree, overall, I'm not sure. I didn't see before the topping of the tree. But I do want to remind all of you that section 12-771 of our code, tree trimming invasive species, the last item D, topping of any tree is prohibited, period. And that when we do top trees, it weakens the tree, the health of the tree, can cause disease. It also creates weak growth. So what you're seeing in those photos, the tree will respond by sending numerous weak sprouts or new limbs that are poorly attached and prone to breaking. So as you see in that, what happens when you remove the entire canopy, it stresses out the tree. It's looking to figure out what's happened. So you're going to get weak growth. It'll never be what it was before. So the remainder of the tree should be removed. This topping we consider essentially a full removal of a tree. Should be removed and replaced. I believe it's about a 16-inch DBH on that tree. Again, these were trees that were required for this development when this was done. So definitely should be replanted, 3-inch minimal caliper.
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
Go ahead, Ron.
The tree was planted when they did the subdivision. Are we in the subdivision or just?
Yes, this subdivision, this was all part of what would have been done for the mitigation when they developed that entire subdivision.
So they planted that tree and the tree grew to be close to what, 15 years, 20 years?
20 years maybe out there. I'm not quite sure exactly when that development started.
It looks like it's completely cut off.
Yeah, that's topping. That's the complete. When you top a tree, it's taking everything, the entire canopy off. So there's no leaves left. It doesn't allow for nutrients or food because there's no photosynthesis by the leaves that take place. So that causes the tree to decline itself.
So
And then it will stress out by sending out those suckers,
we
basically.
want it now removed and
Yes,
replant something instead of that.
Because the city considers the topping to be essentially a full removal. So at this point, it should have, the whole thing is basically like you've removed the whole thing. And yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so what type of tree was topped?
It was a live oak.
Live oak, okay.
Yeah,
Any other questions? Is the respondent here?
I believe so.
Would he like to say something? Name and address, please.
My name is Anand Selvaraj. I'm 7908 Terrace Ridge Drive, Tampa, Florida 33637. My presentation is as follows. First of all, we have moved into this place from a place where it didn't have any restriction or the village for the past 20 years. We've been, since 2010, we've been in this particular location. And never ever had anybody tell me that tree belongs to the city, not to the owner of the home. City, whatever tells we need to do, that's never. Except this time when the notice came, that's the first time I saw look at. I do have package of instructions, owner's manual, 2 packages of, I have it in my, if you want to see it. Nothing has mentioned about what's the owner's responsibility of the tree. The tree belongs to whom? I have no idea. So I thought maybe everyone is on top of it. Okay. The earliest notification of the tree was when I was notified this wrong. So I went to the library to take a look to see what is the owner, what is the owner supposed to be doing. And it says ownership, landowners, what they should do, not the owner of the home. What he should do, I didn't have it. Until I got the information, you have mentioned some identification, what your stipulation should, what the owner should do. That's the first ever time I really came to realize I made a mistake. I am totally ignorant. Okay. And on top of that, the most recent, there are several other reasons I was thinking about trimming it before, because there are a lot of, in the neighborhood, for more than 5 years, they've trimmed the tree. Nothing is said about it, they're growing. So if they do that, I thought probably it's allowed. I have no idea. I can show you the images of what the neighborhood has. And the same neighborhood, the next street has it. They are allowed to do it. So no trimming. Trimming is not the reason the Temple Terrace requires. Some other reason you have. And I can show you these images. Do you want to see?
You want to submit them, please?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Let, our attorney see them
There are
first.
several, I've got to one at a time, one at a time.
Okay.
This first image, it shows the tree that is topped in such a way, beautiful. It's not dead. I don't know how long, it's been there for a long time.
This is your tree? The tree we're talking
No,
about?
not my tree. The neighborhood in the same next street. They have been there for a long time. And here is another tree which was topped on the top. Nothing has been done. It's a big tree, topped on the top in the same neighborhood. I don't probably have cited them already. I don't want it to be just because I'm saying don't go there and do things.
Again, just to clarify, this is not your tree, this is a
No, it's not a
random tree in
neighborhood.
some
It's
other
not my
neighborhood.
tree. So when they do that, I did not know. And actually, those other people came to help me to cut my tree. So I was planning to do that, trim, to make it look like that.
Yep.
So
Your question?
Maybe we should clarify, because he's saying this tree was topped. We're saying the tree was topped. There's a difference of definition. Maybe we should define that.
Yeah, I think, obviously, he's not an arborist, so he's not.
Right. But that may be like what our definition of topping a tree.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not like you're given a
You're not
haircut.
suggesting that it was, by definition, topped what an arborist would use, that you're just saying it was trimmed, correct?
this definition and all that, that's up to you guys. I have no idea if you say trim.
But when you describe the tree as being topped, you're just suggesting that it was also trimmed in some way, in some manner or form, correct?
I didn't understand.
So when you describe a tree as being topped, all you're saying is this tree also, although it's not your tree, it's another tree in the neighborhood
Not my tree.
that was also trimmed in such a manner that you think is similar to your tree.
No, not similar. I wanted to make my tree grow into that shape.
Oh, okay.
See, I wanted to grow my tree into that shape. If that was allowed for 5-10 years, well, I didn't think it was denied by the city. So I thought maybe city permits, if the city didn't do anything about it, I thought, not that I knew the city had.
So you're not testifying that the tree was officially, quote, topped. You're just saying that you would ultimately like your tree to match what this picture shows.
Yeah, I wanted to make it grow like
Help.
that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And this is another tree. They call it topped or branch cut, whatever. That's another one. And here is another one. Here is another.
That tree's not topped.
Nobody wanted it to look that way.
It shouldn't, no. I mean, a violation is a violation, and what he's done is clearly a violation by the picture, so. But I guess he
No, I just,
should have his chance to speak.
those address that I'm putting is for my identification, so if in case you guys ask, that's the address, but I don't want to show them for them to go after them. That's not
Okay,
my.
please stay up by the mic when you speak, okay?
Pardon me?
Stay up by the mic when you speak, so we.
Sorry, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, here's one, okay. So another one.
How many more do you have, sir?
I'm coming another 1, 2, 3 more.
3 more, okay.
Pass them up.
Yeah, Dave, could I ask that we receive
Yeah.
all 3 of them in one go instead of going through each
Yeah,
one?
if you could just hand them all.
No, I need to
We
explain to them. You won't know if I give it to you. You will not know what I'm talking about.
Sir, I think the point I'm trying to make here is just to kind of move this process along. I think we all understand you're trying to justify the topping of your own tree
No, no,
based
no,
off
no.
of evidence you've seen of other trees, but if we could see those pictures quicker, we could probably move this along.
Repeat again.
I'll defer to Dave.
So I think we understand where you're coming from with the pictures. It would be helpful to this board if we had them all at one time.
Okay,
That we
all
can
right.
compare them.
But would you know where they're coming from?
They're not, none of these are from your house, correct?
No, these are not my house.
I think the addresses are on the back.
Yes, so
The addresses on the
it
back.
I'm
doesn't,
just on the book. I'm not
the
for-
actual physical
not to-
location
for them
of
to-
each
for you to
individual
take
tree.
action. I'm just showing you. If I didn't do that, you'll say where this is coming from. So for my,
I'm just letting them know that.
yeah.
No, we can read the back, and quite frankly, the individual locations are really not that important to us.
Yeah,
Other
I see.
than,
Okay, okay.
other than to know that
All
they
right,
are
okay,
not at
then.
your house.
All right, so here's another one, similar
Can you
kind of
just pass
thing
them
you
on?
see.
That'd be great, thank you. Yeah, we don't need to know exactly where they're at, other than
That's
to
all
know
in
that they're
Hillsborough
not at your
County. That's all in Hillsborough County.
house. Okay, thank you.
Hillsborough County,
Yes.
not the city.
Hillsborough County, I don't know what city belongs to. I mean, the name is there, but I have no idea how the division is. I'm not familiar with it. Okay, and then coming back to my tree, I tried to do that after hurricane. Obviously, a lot of branches had to be cut down. And all these years, we've been trying to cut every year. Only once a year, we're allowed to cut down the branch. We call the cities to see, hey, can we do? So we've been doing that. Nobody asked us. Nobody said anything. And the people come and cut. They don't have a license or anything. I do not know. If the city requires, so strict on this kind of thing, you should ask the tree cutters to have a license. Unless they have a license permit, they should not let the homeowner know that this requires a permit. So simple as that. Everything else, fence we have done with a permit, roof after the hurricane we got to do the permit. I have it permit. So only thing permit is the tree cutting we did not know. And so this particular tree is the one that we are talking about. It has a lush growth, and I was told that the tree will have 100% dying, totally dead. I don't think so. Looking at the tree, you will see branches are coming. It's going to come nice and beautiful. My intention was not to cut it down, make it to grow in such a way like the other trees. So that's now it start coming up. It's still lush and growth. If you want to do that, give me a year chance for the tree to grow. If it doesn't, I'll cut it down and plant another one. That's fine. I'll plant another plant. I have no objection to it. Okay, this is a totally different thing they probably cut down, and it's a totally different tree. So what's the difference between an oak tree and another kind of trees? Do you allow palm trees, this and that? Totally. To me, if you ask me, it looks ugly. Palm trees are ugly with dry branches. So I don't want to do that. I want to keep the oak tree as an oak tree. Okay, having said that one, I request if you do that, give me 1 year chance for the tree to grow. If it dies within a year, I'll replant a new one. That's no problem on it. And if there's a fine to be paid, I'll pay the fine. That's no problem on it. And replacement tree, if that kind of tree is allowed, I'll probably have to choose what you have on your list already. And what percent of time these trees that are trimmed like this one will totally die? Can anyone say for certainty 100% is going to die? If there's 1% chance of the tree surviving, I take the 1% chance for the sake of tree. Thank you.
Any questions for the respondent?
I had one.
And one at a time. Rod first, then
Yes,
you.
I have a couple of questions. First of all, the tree was on your property or on the city's property?
Say it again?
The tree was on your property or on the city's property? There's
No, it's in our property.
on your
I
property.
do not know. Someplace I see on the walkway, if you put it, it becomes a city prop. One of those cities.
Tree was in his front yard, Rod.
Front yard. Yeah, the second, did you seek professional help to evaluate what you're explaining here? Like, did you hire an arborist?
No.
Did you, who cut the tree? Did you hire a,
That was needed.
did you hire a company that's certified?
Let him ask and then you answer. We have to,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Did
Ask a
you,
question.
did you hire a company that's certified in cutting the trees?
No,
Who cut the tree?
no. It's a neighborhood, people come and cut. I thought, oh, well, everyone's cut down, let me cut it down, shape it the way I want. If they are allowed to cut willy-nilly every place, if they are not asked to have a certification just like anybody else, the city doesn't, I mean, we do not know who has a certificate. We can ask them, they can, you need to ask those people to see, have a certificate before you cut a tree.
You said you changed your roof, you hired a contractor to change your roof.
Yeah.
Now, in cutting the tree, if you did not cut the tree, you hired somebody or you just did it, just bring the
No,
saw?
I don't cut, I can't cut a tree.
I know, it's-
No,
I cannot cut the tree too.
So these people cut on around my home, they cut the tree. So I thought, let me ask them to shape the tree, first of all, cut it off. And then shape the tree, when the new comes, it comes as a,
Because you explained to us about topping trees.
all those tree cutters are professional one, otherwise you wouldn't allow in the city. I don't know. You allow them to cut, so they have a permission to cut whatever they feel, whatever, and what they say, we are not a professional, so.
There's a tree ordinance in the city and everywhere, and even Hillsborough County too. So
Say it again?
there's a tree ordinance to protect the trees.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the-
Any other questions, Rod?
Yeah, so.
You done?
Think,
Go ahead, Bill.
So I just had a question about this
Yeah.
particular picture. Are you saying that this is what the tree looked like prior to, or this is what?
That's what it looks like now.
Okay, that's all, that's the only question I
Oh,
had.
that's what it looks like now.
That's what it looks like now.
Yeah,
Okay, that's,
consistent with what
Yeah,
the
with the
other
other-
picture we saw.
Consistent with the other picture, yeah. Any other questions for the respondent? You can have a seat, sir. Thank you.
thank you.
If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
If I may, before you do that.
Go ahead.
I notice on the agenda, it has sections 12-763 and 768. It should actually be 12-771, which deals with the topping, which was what was cited in the notice of violation. We just have a
So
typographical error on the
replace,
agenda.
which one gets the,
768 is wrong. That should be 770.
768 is a typo, should be 771.
Yeah, and that is what was on the notice of violation.
Okay. And that was the notice that was one of the notice that was hung on his door.
26,
Okay.
One more question, sir. Will I be able to get the copy of the one that I gave? Will I be able to get it back?
Once you hand them to us, they get put into the record. We don't give them back to you.
Yeah,
we can get copies.
But you can come down maybe tomorrow and get a copy of it if you need it. Okay? If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
we need the
You need-
arborist.
Don't go anywhere yet. We're not done.
David, you need to ask the arborist a couple of questions.
Need to ask who?
Joe?
The arborist? Okay, Joe, would you mind coming back up?
He's right here.
He's over here, sorry.
That's okay. Okay.
Go ahead, Ron.
What's your, I heard you earlier, what's your opinion about this tree? Did you go see it? Did you examine it? Did you see,
Yeah.
is it gonna survive? Is it gonna,
It'll continue to grow what you see on there, but that's what they call weak attachments. So if you look at, I'll use my fingers as the canopy that was there, you have all these leaves. You take and cut these at the knuckles, it's a stub that's there. So that's gonna shoot out all these little water sprouts, and they call them suckers, in technical terms, the water sprouts. So they're gonna force that out because the tree is now stressed, trying to regrow what was there. It'll,
No, just,
bathroom. I need to-
oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. We'll wait till you get back. Joe, just wait till he gets back.
okay. please stand by.
While we're waiting, I can make copies of those pictures for them.
Okay, that'd be great.
You're awesome.
So we have to wait
I
till it comes
know.
back.
I love
Yeah,
it.
before Joe,
Hey,
due process.
you live in Michigan.
I know.
Thank you, Ernie.
Cheryl, do you have a calendar for me? It's not there.
Oh, okay.
Mine's 2024.
You live in my hometown.
I'd give you mine, but mine's 2024.
Well, we're sharing one. If you can't find one, we're sharing one.
Share well with others.
No. Got an extra one?
Apparently not. Apparently not. You're the third person to ask.
I brought it the last 2 weeks, or 2 months. I don't need a calendar, I got that.
Somebody else does.
Well, if you're, whoever does the finding, we'll just share it.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever, so I have to do that.
Okay. I'm just thinking.
Yeah,
we
so
have
whoever
one-
does the
we have
finding
one.
will,
We'll share
will
it,
just,
yes.
well,
And remind me at the end of the meeting, I'll ask the clerk to make sure that the packet contains that whenever we have a tree case. Okay? Okay.
All right, so back to cutting, again, if my hand is the tree and you have this canopy of all these limbs that are attached to the trunk of the tree, you cut at the knuckle, all those off, that's topping, removing everything. It'll send out the suckers, they're gonna grow on there. Those are weaker attachments. They're not attached to the tree the way the normal growth where the entire limb would have been attached to the trunk. Those become weaker as they get larger. They can snap off easier during storms. In that area, and this goes for any cutting of any limb, if it's cut at the knuckle there, joint, and not at the base of the tree, it'll never heal itself. So in time, that's going to be susceptible to disease and rot for each of those stubs to eventually rot. Even though it's sending out those suckers, and you're seeing the leaves on there, it'll never grow back into the tree that it was. Those are not the purpose.
Right, I understood that, which is good for refreshing. But what he's trying to achieve, similar to what he has in his neighborhood, I've seen some of these pictures that he submitted, that the tree was top.
Yeah.
He wants to achieve that canopy that's shorter and.
Now, some of that canopy with that spread, it's hard to tell by those pictures if that's just not the normal growth. That live oaks will grow in a spreading form. So some of those photos have the spread and it looks like maybe it was topped on the top part of it. Without seeing them actually in front of me, it's hard to judge on that. You won't get, kind of the best way to describe if you're familiar with when crepe myrtles are cut all the time. A normal crepe myrtle will grow to a umbrella shape. That's its natural characteristic. When it's cut, it's those suckers and it changes that characteristic of the growth. It's more upright. So whatever is growing on here in a year's time, you're going to see more upright. You're not going to see that broad spreading that a normal live oak would do.
Well,
In some of those pictures, to me, with again, just looking at a black and white image, it's hard to tell without being there. They still have that normal growth pattern of a live oak that hasn't been completely cut. So they may have topped the top of it, but left the sides.
But to reiterate, topping a tree is a violation.
It's prohibited, period, as it says.
In addition to that, it's your professional arborist opinion that that tree is now much more susceptible to rot and disease.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Any other questions?
yeah, I just had one. In previous cases with trees, we've come up, sometimes the city will say that the person, and just for clarification, the person can leave what's left of the previous tree in place if they want to. Is that the Because I'm just trying to figure out
I
how
think
we're
there was
gonna.
only one particular case where, if I believe right, the homeowner wanted to take what was left of the tree and carve basically a totem pole out of it. And we agreed that we were allowing that to do that.
And that was a
But-
backyard tree too, just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't in a front yard where it's visible, to the entire community.
I thought it was one case last week where we had some.
That was a backyard.
It's been earlier this year, I believe it was, yeah.
Okay, so in this case, we can fairly ask that.
Yeah, and this goes back, again, as I said, these trees that are there were required for the development of the property, and our code states that those trees have to stay for the perpetuity. Yes, thank you. I have a hard time with that word, and thank you, he said it for me. They have to stay in perpetuity when a development is done like this, and that means that we need a tree there, and he's essentially removed that canopy that it was developing.
Okay, got you. Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion. Rod?
I'll attempt that.
Oh, thank you.
I don't like that.
You don't need this?
Well, I'll leave it.
Okay.
In case number 25-3664, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the city's Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 7908 Terrace Ridge Drive, with the applicable code violations section 12771 and section 12-763. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the violation is irreparable and irreversible as defined by the City Code's Section 1-63. Therefore, I move that the fine be $500 be imposed for each violation, for the one tree violation.
Done?
You have to finish the,
Not to exceed?
no,
Okay.
this part right
Oh, okay.
Says-
Yes. I further move that the respondent replace the improperly removed tree by planting a 3-gallon,
I think he said one
1-gallon tree on or before
one tree. I'm not sure.
one
about
tree,
Size, but
one tree.
One tree, the minimum size is 3-inch caliper.
One tree, minimum size of 3-inch caliber, on or before November 12th, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order or before or that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine for filing to plant replacement tree be, by the deadline date, be $25 per day.
Okay with that, Ernie?
Yes, as long as everybody understands the motion, I think that.
Yeah. So,
I'll second for discussion.
okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Further discussion, Brian?
I would like to give a little more time to plant trees. I'm okay with the rest of it, but to give him a month to plant, a new tree, we're generally a little more generous with that.
plus he has to take the old tree.
Right. So I would like to see, 2 months, whatever. Plus, we're getting into I know hurricane season is getting to the end, but once we get to the dry season, it's harder to keep them alive. Like, I'd like a little more leniency on that side.
You have a date in mind?
I would like it planted, honestly, when does the city do the next tree giveaway?
Anytime. You can get a tree anytime.
Oh,
I don't
2-3
mind,
months.
I don't mind 2 months.
I'd be much happier with that. 2-3 months.
I don't mind.
Okay, then you need to revise your motion.
I don't have to do it all over.
No, just say I
part.
revised,
Yeah, the
the
deadline.
end date to,
Yes. I revised the responded date to be
December 10th.
December 10th, 2026,
2020.
2025.
Thank you.
So I,
We don't have that.
Is that for both the replacement tree and the date to be done by for both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so we have an amend,
I have a
hang on. Let's get, hang on, let's get the amended second. We have an amended motion. You need to second it.
I'll second it to
Okay.
December.
Any further discussion?
Yeah.
One at a time. Bill, then you.
So I have a question about, if we go by the matrix, which you don't have to, I know that. I think Joe said the DBH, if it was a live oak, the DBH was 16 inches, I'm pretty sure. And if you go by this matrix, $1,600 would be the fine. And I just want to, you to justify what
Okay.
you,
I just
why you
wanted to
reduced the
justify
fine.
this. First of all, I honestly know for sure from his representation, he did not know about any permit. He did not know about anything to do with the tree. He did not hire any professional person. His neighbors did not even advise him to get a permit. So I did not want to go by our matrix. Plus, it's gonna cost him extra money to remove this tree and replant another tree. So, and it's also in his yard. And I know it's part of the subdivision. I love trees, but sometimes people make mistakes. He admitted to that even in his presentation. So I did not want to put a big number on him with this economy too.
Yeah, all I'll say is that we, in our presentation, workshop presentation we had,
Yes,
definitely,
I
we
understand
were
that.
told that ignorance is not an excuse.
Yeah, I know,
And-
I understand, but
So-
he's not a developer that's coming to cut the trees and build houses and make money.
Ernie has something to say.
His intention was to
Hang on.
beautify.
That's
Just
enough.
let him
That's
talk.
A couple of quick things on the motion. Number one, I just want to keep everyone to remember, this was a live oak that's been topped.
Right, so if we're gonna, so if we're, a replacement, I think it would be preferable to make sure that it's a live oak that gets replaced.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, so I think that should be as part of the motion.
Your mic
Is your
is
mic-
not on?
I'm sorry, Brian. Okay, so I think that, it should be replaced with a live oak. And I also think the motion didn't make it clear that in the 2 months and by December 10th, the old tree needs to be removed as well as the replacement.
And
Being done
while we're
by
on the
then.
subject, you mentioned a $500,
That's the
let me finish. A $500 fine, and then if the tree is not taken down and the other one is not replaced, then there will be another $25 per day until that happens, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. So, based on what Ernie said, we have yet another revision to clarify the type of tree.
type of tree.
And before you do that, we have another comment.
Is it $500 or is it $500 per section violation? That's what I wasn't sure. Just one?
One.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So if you would, unless the director has something he wants to say, we will amend it yet again to clarify the type of tree.
Okay, I amend my motion to specify the type of tree to be, first to remove the existing tree within the 60 days that we established, and to plant a laurel oaks,
No, it's not a laurel.
live oaks tree. It's the one, gotta write that down.
Okay, let me see if I can summarize. So we have the original motion, found that responded in violation of section 12-771 and 12-763. The fine was $500, and if the existing tree is not removed and replaced with a, what was the 3-inch caliber live oak by December 10th, an additional fine of $25 per day will accrue.
Perfect.
That is the new motion. And Brian, I need you to second that if you so desire.
I will second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further discussion?
I'd like to see the fine at $1,600 like we discussed and all agreed to. And just, for no other reason than that's kind of the precedent that we wanted to set, and that's the direction we're supposed to go.
Well,
Clarification, sorry. The live oak is the one that lives forever?
Longer, yeah.
Longer.
100 years.
Unless you chop the top of it off.
Sorry.
Chop its head off.
Want to clarify.
Any other, you're under no obligation to change it, so
yeah.
we'll see how the vote goes. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Look,
Nay.
Nay.
aye.
Nay.
Okay. Did anybody take the count?
3-3.
It's 3-3.
Yep. So we have to,
So motion fails.
we gotta fight it out.
Motion fails. No, motion fails. We need a new motion. I need somebody to make a motion.
Can I ask Ian who did the nays on that?
Let's,
Can I ask, is the fine,
it was Bill, Dave, and Regine.
is the fine the issue?
Yes, for me.
Okay. So if the fine's the issue, Rod,
Well,
I'm with you on a lot of it. I'm okay with going higher, to be entirely honest. I seconded for discussion because I like to discuss these. I think this is where we get to talk things out. But I'm happy going higher.
you know, as I mentioned to you, I know it's gonna cost him now, with this deadline also we gave him, to remove the tree and to replant a new tree.
Okay, I think
That's gonna be
everybody
a cost.
understands all the
Yeah,
positions.
yeah.
We're not gonna move this forward until somebody makes a new motion. And I think you all know that the lump sum fine is the hangup.
If, you know, I don't mind going half of what the, to amend it, if this will get it approved, instead of 1,600, 800, half of what really, which is, I think it's very high, close to 1,000 you're talking, so, yeah.
Bill, what do you think? What's your opinion in terms of what you think a fine should be? You want to, I mean, do you feel like we should stick with the 1,600? Or is there room for?
There's room for, yeah. Yeah, I'm flexible. I kind of like to go by, set a precedent. We go by the matrix.
These are recommendations, Bill,
I understand that. That's,
and we have to see it case by case, and his genuine, not intentionally, you know, so that's.
I don't want to get
that's-
into an
hold on, yeah, well,
argument here, but
yeah.
again.
It was intentionally
workshop, it was
topped.
clearly stated that
One at a time, one at a time.
ignorance is not an excuse, and that's just how I feel about it.
Okay.
Now, it was intentionally topped. We have a city ordinance that says that's not okay. Like Bill was saying, ignorance is no excuse of the law. There's a penalty for that. We've grappled with this as a subjective matter for so long. We now have objective metrics to go by. I think if our very first thing to do with that objective reasoning is to throw it out the window because of subjective reasons, we're gonna lose the foothold we have in making something consistent. I mean, this is a clear-cut case of the tree was topped. It's against city ordinance. It was clearly topped, like it wasn't even, like there's no room for ambiguity here. And it was a big tree. It was a big old tree that has to come down, otherwise it's a potential hazard. So, I mean, the fine seems to be right.
Let me ask the director. Director, is the city, would the city be acceptable to something less than 1,600?
From our perspective, we need to be fair and consistent across the board. The matrix was created for a reason. It's an expensive mistake, but we have seen a rash of tree cases, which is why the matrix was created in the first place. From our perspective, we should be fair and consistent across the board and stick with the matrix.
Thank you. Okay. So now, having heard that, I need somebody to make a motion.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
In case number 253664, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 7908 Terrace Ridge Drive. The violations being excuse me, Section 12-771 and 12-763. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Lori Smith, and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that that violation is irreparable and irreversible, as defined by City Code Section 1-63. Therefore, I move that a fine of $1,600 be imposed for each violation. I further move that the respondent replace the improperly removed tree by planting a live oak on or before December 10th, 2025.
Okay, before I ask for a second, let me ask for a clarification.
Yes.
You said $1,600 per violation.
Oh, sorry.
Did you mean that, or do you just mean 1,600 flat?
$1,600 flat.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we now have a motion. Do we have a second?
She's got to finish the rest.
Yeah, they'll finish. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead and finish.
The
If the
3 inch.
respondent does not comply with the order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine for failing to plant the replacement tree by the deadline date to be $25 a day.
Okay, one last clarification. Could you please specify the size of the replacement tree?
3 inch.
3 inch,
3-inch caliber.
3.
Say it.
The live oak has to be 3 caliber,
3 inch.
3 inches,
Thank you.
And what was the deadline date? I'm sorry. I missed-
December 10th.
Okay.
That gives them 60 days.
We now have a new motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, one at a time, starting with you.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Sir, so what just happened is, it took 2 motions, but we got there. You have been found in violation of the code. You have been fined $1,600 as a flat fee. You have until December 10th to remove the tree that is currently in that location, the one that you topped, and then replace it with another live oak with a 3-inch caliber. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. So you have until December 10th to get all that done, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Am I done?
Yes, sir. Next case, please.
Case number 25-3171, City versus Jardine, Liska, for the property located at 5314 Rainbow Drive. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-921, parking residential property. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Danielle Batt. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, I'm Officer Batt with Code Compliance. This case this evening was initiated by me on August 5th, 2025, in violation of the city's Code of Ordinance. The code section is 12-921 for the parking and or storage of a vehicle in the yard areas of the residentially zoned property, which is prohibited. At the time of the initial inspection, I was met by a male who identified as the property owner. I advised him of the violation and attempted to give him a courtesy door hanger, and he refused to accept, so I verbally let him know that I would be back for re-inspection, and if not in compliance, I would be issuing a notice of violation. On August 11th, 2025, a notice of violation was hand-delivered by both Code Director Jay Shanks, and myself to a person who again identified himself as the property owner. Requested posting to City Hall on the electric board and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. A reinspection was done on September 11th, 2025, and a notice of hearing was posted on September 22nd, 2025. To the subject property, requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. As of my last inspection on October 6th, 2025, the property was in compliance. At this time, I would like to submit evidence for case number 25-3171 supporting the case and asking for a finding of fact. So I may close the case upon receiving a copy of the official order.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit A is going to be a photo of the violation on August 11th, 2025. Exhibit B is a photo of the reinspection on September 11th, 2025. And Exhibit C is an affidavit of compliance and photos.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Thank you. Is the respondent here? Are you both planning on saying something?
Yes.
You were both sworn in?
Yes.
Okay. Name and address, please.
Yes, Jardine Deliska, address is 5314 Rainbow Drive.
Thank you.
Eric Granberry, address 5314 Rainbow Drive.
Thank you.
Yep.
The floor is yours.
Okay, yeah. So we have acknowledged the violation for the parking. I wasn't in, I haven't spoken to Miss, yeah, it was my husband speaking to her. Every time I was at work. So I wasn't, I was in the house, but I was at work. I work remotely. But we have acknowledged the violation. Since then, we have not parked on the grass. The picture that you see with the red truck, it was actually rocks there before, but grass have grew over time through on the ground. So that's why we were parking there at the time, because it was literally rocks there. But since then, we have not parked. We're parking on the sidewalk or the driveway. And we do have plans to pull permits to expand our driveway in the future.
Perfect.
Okay. We plan on pulling the permits to add the driveway. I did a lot of remodeling to the house. So what you see why the rocks wasn't there is because we had a fence put across there. The reason being someone kept jumping our backyard. So, City of Temple Terrace police know me very well for calling in for stupid stuff that happens around in the neighborhood. The violation, like you said, we have fixed. I found that there's just enough room to park my truck without it getting sideswiped. That's why I haven't parked on the street like my neighbor, which his van already been sideswiped. So don't want to park it in the road because that's our only means of transportation for me to get to work.
Okay, so you're currently not in violation, you're in compliance, so you get the permit and get it all done and we'll be good to go. Okay? Any questions for the respondents? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I know this one.
Thank you.
In case number 25-3171, I move the city is proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 5314 Rainbow Drive. Applicable code sections 12-921. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from code enforcement officers, along with other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. So you were found in violation but brought into compliance, so there's no fine. However, I need to warn you that if you're found not in compliance again within how long?
60?
Within 5 years, it's considered a repeat violation. And if it's a repeat violation, the fines go up.
Instantly.
Okay, instantly.
I'll get out here tomorrow to get it.
Okay. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, man.
Good luck to you. Thank you. Next case, please.
Case number 25-2841, City versus Terrace Oaks HOA, care of West Coast Management for the property located at 10325 Clemens Way. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of section 12-901 pools, duty to maintain. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on July 16, 2025 for an unmaintained community pool. I contacted the property manager to check on the status, was informed new equipment had been installed, but there was an electrical issue to be resolved. My reinspection on July 25th showed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of August the 8th, 2025. I posted the notice at the property, and a copy was posted at City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on September 22nd showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the October Municipal Code Board meeting. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on July 25th and September 22nd of 2025.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the unmaintained pool. Exhibit number 3 shows the posting of the notice of hearing. The site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead, Bill.
So when you say unmaintained pool, it looks like the water's dirty,
Yes, sir.
very dirty, and,
Look at
but there's no danger as far as,
No, it's fenced in. It can't be
Fenced in.
accessed.
You can see this on your screen. There's a picture.
yeah, I can, that's, okay, thanks.
Go ahead, Brian.
Is it having mosquito or bug issues or anything like that?
Not that I can tell. There's a pond right behind it, so it'd probably be very difficult to discern if it's coming from the pond or coming from the pool.
Fair enough.
Any other questions? Is the respondent here?
The property manager is here.
Property manager is here? Okay. Name and address, please.
Garrett Speck. I'm with West Coast Property Management. I'm here in lieu of the board. My address, or the address for the violation is 10325 Council's Way.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm the property manager. I'm here in lieu of the board. So this, like Doug had said, this issue essentially stemmed from, I would say, late 2024 going into 2025. Doug has been gracious enough working with him. It's kind of been a slew of just kind of bad mishaps happening one after another. We went to, originally we had a leak within the pool that happened in October of 2024. That was with Red Cat Plumbing. We addressed that. Proceeded forward. We realized we needed new equipment for the pool in order to be able to run efficiently. And so we essentially proceeded to go with quotes. You know, the board is very active just in terms of being able to save money and, you know, economic climate and things like that. So we proceeded to try to get vendors. We received a couple of proposals. The board did not make a decision. The one that they did end up going with, the woman who was going to, actually, she's a doctor pools I work with on a couple of my other associations. She actually ended up needing to get surgery, so we needed to go through a different vendor. That got fixed. As soon as it got fixed, he relayed to us, hey, I wouldn't turn it on. You need to get the electrical side of the pool equipment working. So we got two quotes there. Those were both just astronomical for the board's liking. So we ended up going with another one. We got a third. That essentially happened, I would say, within the past month. That was completed around the beginning of September. After that was completed, our pool maintenance guy who's been on the sideline for the last year, he kind of came in and said, hey, everything looks great, but you also have a blown out motor. That was a part of the original equipment that was installed. So that was just approved today. Actually, I just spoke with the board president this morning, letting her know in terms of him attending the meeting. So that was approved, and it should be remedied within 30 days. I'm going to try to have them out there tomorrow, to be honest.
So everything, as far as you know, everything that is wrong should be able to be repaired within 30 days?
Correct.
Okay, very good. Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll try this one.
Okay.
In case number 25-2841. I move that the city, proven by the greater weight of evidence, the following violation of the city Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 10325 Council's Way, with the applicable code violation section 12-901. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before November 12, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I said aye, sorry.
Okay, opposed, no nays, motion carries. So you have been found in violation. You have until November 12th to bring the property into compliance. Should you have some issues with anything, you'll need to come back to us on November 12th. At that time, you're welcome to request an extension. There is no guarantee you will get an extension, but you are welcome to request one.
I got Doug's hotline, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next case, please.
Case number 25-2999, City versus Jassim Al-Habib and Yvette Al-Habib. It's a continued case for the property located at 11002 Ridgedale Road. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-763, tree removal penalty, and Section 12-768, tree removal regulations. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on July the 24th, 2025. My inspection revealed several oak trees had been taken down in the front yard. I contacted Joe Ferris, who met me on site the same day. 13 sand oak trees and 1 crepe myrtle tree were removed from the front and the rear yard of the residence without permission from the city. At this time, a notice of irreparable, irreversible violation was prepared with immediate action required to correct the violation. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on July the 24th, 2025.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. As of today's date, the site remains out of compliance and I'm seeking a ruling. Joe Ferris is here this evening for questions or concerns.
Okay, so again, just for clarification, there was 13 oak trees removed?
Yes, sir. 13 sand oak trees.
1 crepe myrtle.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is the crepe myrtle, Joe, it's probably for Joe, is the crepe myrtle protected?
No, it would require a permit for removal, but not for mitigation purposes.
Okay.
So it's not included in this. The scope of this is just those 13 sand live oaks. So, good evening again, Joe Ferris, City Arborist. As Lori had said on the 24th, she had called me. I was out in the field to find out if I had approved some trees removal on Ridgedale. It wasn't anything that was recalled. So I met her out there and we found that several trees had been removed. This first image is from Google Streets image from 2020. The ones circled are the clusters of live oak, sand live oaks that were removed. And if we go to the next one, this is an image I took on September 29th. You can see what's sort of left of those clusters and how much more that opened to the house. Before we go on to the stumps itself, I want to go back to that day that she called me. There were 2 construction workers there working on the interior of the house. I had asked them if they knew who owned the house or supervisor. They had called someone who I either assumed was the owner or their boss, and I spoke to him on the phone, asking about the trees that were removed. He had explained to me that he was told by the city that he would need to get a topographic survey before he removed trees. I said, "You've already removed trees?" He said, "Yes, I want to meet with you about removing more trees." So he explained that we weren't going to remove any more until we resolved this issue. I had asked him if he could email me a copy of that topographic survey, he said he would. So after coming back from lunch that day in the office, I had received that survey. But prior to that, before Lori and I left, we walked around and took photos. And these are the images of the stumps that were left and the DBHs that I was able to determine for the sizes. So a series of images here of all 13 of the stumps. The total of inches that were removed by the 13 was 120 inches in all. This next image is the image of the topographic survey as I received it. One of the reasons when he said he had one done, I wanted to see that so I wouldn't have to determine what the sizes were, because if they're on the survey, the sizes would be there. But once I opened that up, I noticed that the trees that were removed didn't appear to be on the survey. So I took that copy, went back out to the site that afternoon. The next image shows where I marked up the trees approximately, just guesstimating where they were, and then those sizes of the stumps. So I took measurements at that point so that I could determine what the DBH of each of those trees would be. The next image is highlighted on the survey. On the far left is the original file date, which would have been the date that the survey was completed or done. And it's dated 7/17. We were there on the 24th. The other right side of that image is the date of that day that it was electronically signed by the surveyor. So one of two things happened. They were told not to count those trees, or those trees had been removed before that survey was done. At the time they were done, it was still fresh cuts, so it's potentially it could have been done the week prior from when we found that they had been removed.
So this survey was actually done the same day you guys were out there at 11:30?
Well, it was digitally signed by the surveyor on that same day.
But we don't know when it was actually done.
The 17th is that date. So that other date where it says the original file date, that would have been the date they would have gone out and actually surveyed the site, which would have been 7 days prior.
So there's a good chance that those trees were not there on the 17th.
They're either not there or we're told not to count them. One of the two. It's hard to know. But based on those dates, they were clearly left off the survey for one of those two reasons.
Well, that was the reason they're not on the survey.
Yeah, yeah. And again, the crepe myrtle, that would have needed a permit for removal, but they're not considered a protected tree because it's not considered a canopy. I mean, they're protected, but not in the same terms a canopy would be for replacement.
Any other questions for the arborist? Go ahead.
Yes, if I remember from this we reviewed this case last week.
We started, and then it was postponed till this month.
The crepe myrtle, I don't think requires a replacement tree.
No, it wouldn't, because it's not considered a canopy tree or a shade tree by our code in those trees that we consider that. So for mitigation purposes, it wouldn't require mitigation, or technically fine because they didn't take down a canopy tree.
But the other 13 trees.
It's still protected, and if someone called and said, I want to remove this, I'd go out and inspect it, and it would require a permit for removal. It just wouldn't require mitigation. So if it was on a site that's being developed, crepe myrtles aren't required to be mitigated because they're not considered by our code as a canopy tree.
Now the other 13.
Those are all
need to be replaced.
Yeah, they would need replacement. 13 trees.
Are they all live oaks?
They were all sand live oaks. These were.
Is there a distinction as far as?
The difference is sand live oaks will grow. Sand live oaks grow in those clusters, so they're smaller clusters and grow different angles and create that larger canopy.
For the purpose of the matrix, it's still considered a.
It would still be considered under the. Did that get updated? Did they get a copy? No. Okay.
What was the total DBH that you?
Well, it was a total of 120 inches.
Just
of all 13, yeah. So the total of all those DBHs totaled 120 inches.
Question.
Go ahead.
Can we go back to the picture that showed the front of the house? What was that?
Before or after?
Yeah, before.
That one.
That one. What was this date again?
This was from 2020 from Google. It's the most current image that they have on there from,
Okay.
I believe it said December of 2020.
And if you had to discern some sort of opinion just from those, the health of the tree,
I wouldn't. You
can't. Okay.
I mean, it's not the proper way to
Yeah.
evaluate a tree. I mean,
Okay.
I have residents, I have contractors that send me photos all the time, but I still insist to go out there and see the tree. These grainy images, it's hard to tell. December, what they would have looked like that time of year. It's just too difficult to say yay or nay to what the tree looks like or the health of the tree.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just not the proper way to evaluate a tree.
Okay, that's fair.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Bill.
So, if we go by the matrix, and maybe I'm doing the math wrong, but it seems like you're talking about at $100 per DBH, you're talking about $12,000 of fines. Is that?
Not to exceed 5,000.
Okay, or is that the rule, not to exceed 5,000, or is that?
Good question. Did we?
I don't know that it says specifically states.
No, but it does max out at 5,000.
Okay, okay, all right, so 5,000 would be the
Yes.
maximum that we could.
You have a question?
Well, a clarification, the motion says 5,000 per violation. Would this be 13 separate violations or one single violation?
No, the violations are by code section, not by individual tree, I don't think.
But there are two code violations.
Ernie.
So technically you could.
Yeah, each tree is supposed to be a separate violation.
Right, okay.
But our arborist, Mr. Ferris, has kind of accumulated the inches for you.
Okay.
Which I think tapped it out, or topped out.
So the 5,000 is applicable. Okay. So 5,000 is the max.
Okay, so they're separate violations, but we're treating them as one violation?
Yes.
That's how it's being presented?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions for the arborist? Is the respondent here?
Don't know.
Come on up. State your name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Edison Aramillo Montoya. I'm the present owner of the house.
Address, Address?
It's 11002 Richville Road.
Thank you.
So I purchased the house on August, I think it was. When we purchased the house, there was a violation that we occurred when we purchased, which the house has neglected. The landscaping was overgrown. There was a lot of limbs and trees all over the place. So what I did, I called a landscaping company because I wanted to make sure, number one, the violation would be clear, because that was number one case that I have to do. So I sent a landscaper to do the job. I asked him to clean the property and to remove any trees that needs to be removed, any dead trees. Pretty much that's what I told him. When I arrived that evening on the house, probably about 5 o'clock, he was still working there, and I found some of the trees were cut. I know some of them were in bad shape. I'm not gonna say all of them, but some of them were really bad. I have pictures before and after. The pictures that you saw that's for 2020, that's about 4 or 5 years since I purchased the house. The trees were really bad. So landscaping went and did exactly what I asked him. Just remove anything that's dead because I need to clean the property up. Now, I didn't know how bad they were. Some of them, the pictures that I had previously when I purchased the house, you can see how bad they were. You can also see them on the picture of 2020. They were really bad shape. I don't know how bad. I don't think they were dead 100%, but they were really bad. The house was being neglected for years. When I purchased it, there was limbs on top of the roof. The limbs were coming. They made holes on the roof. They damaged the roof. And 2 weeks after I purchased it, when we started cleaning, there was a storm. There was a big limb came over the roof and damaged the front of the fascia of the house. That's when we started cleaning the house. I have some pictures. And another thing, we have over 40 trees on the property, which about 20 plus are oak trees. The ones that we technically removed, I think there was real bad shaped trees. And that's where I'm standing. I have some pictures. And when I spoke to him, he spoke to me. And I need to remove stuff because there's some still leaning against the house. That anytime they're gonna fall into my roof. I haven't done any repairs because I stopped all construction the day he showed up and put a notice to stop. So I waited because we gotta replace the roof, total replace the roof, a lot of the trusses, about 3 trusses with limb hit it. I have to replace it. And that is been going on since July or whatever he came in stop. I clean a lot of the stuff. I have pictures of new limbs coming in the backyard of trees that be falling off. Then they need to be removed. That's why I asked it. There's more trees that I have to remove because they're endangering the house. I mean, the house, I want to fix it up for my daughter. I want to fix it, get it done. And right now, I'm going to stay still until I clear this up because I got to get a new roof. If you would like to see the pictures, you have the pictures before and after. You see some pictures that are really decayed on the stump. They all, I don't know if termites or whatever got it into it. But yes, some trees were cut off. Now, I don't know how that is prevalent, but what I did was took care of clean the house. That was my priority number 1, to clean the house and make sure everything was safe to start working on the house.
Do you want to submit those photographs?
Yes, sir.
Give them to council. Thank you.
I got some notes before and after. And you already see the survey. I got a copy of the survey if you need, but I guess you have a copy of that. You can see in the pictures we have about 40 still trees. I don't know exactly how many oaks, but I think about 20 of them are oaks. And we still have about 8 on the front yard. This is also how, hopefully I can get the house done and see how it's gonna look, which is an improvement for what it is right now, trying to make the house livable. And the house has an acre of land, which is a big parcel, so it's a lot of trees. And of course, I want to clean it up, fix it up, make it look good and safe. Because I have my daughter, I have my granddaughter is only 2 years old.
The trees that you cut down, did you have an arborist look at them and give you?
No, because the way what happened. I'm sorry.
And it's a yes or no?
No.
Okay. So for the trees that you cut down, did you have an arborist come out and look at them?
No. Like I say, when I purchased the property and when I sent the landscaper, what I asked him was to go clean the landscaping, clean it up, take it into his dead, and he probably went above and beyond what I told him. That is probably.
Any other questions for the respondent? Thank you, sir. You can have a seat. Thank you. No other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I had a question for Joe.
Okay.
So, looking at the pictures, more recent pictures, does that change your opinion on any of the?
Again, without seeing it, it's hard to judge just based on pictures. The proper way to evaluate a tree is to actually be out there and look at the tree. I don't mind taking pictures, like I said before I look at something, but I want to actually be out there and physically evaluate the tree.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to say that, yes, I would approve this, or no, I wouldn't approve that. Again, that's why the city has me on staff, is for that purpose, to come out and we don't go through these situations. So.
Any other questions?
This is a question for Ernie. The section violations does not note that removal without permit. Is there tree removal penalty and tree removal regulation? Is there any wording for permit, or was he required a permit?
Yes, I mean, 12-768 says, permit required, no protected tree shall be removed without first obtaining a permit from the city.
Okay, that's the section 68.
Yes.
And the section 763, tree removal without.
That's the mitigation, that's the replacement part.
Yes, and that's why I got to that. How could we have him replace all these trees when he has 40 trees on his property? If he can apply for a permit, how many trees does he need to plant on his property?
What's the mitigation?
Yes,
What's the mitigation?
13 trees, he's removed 13 sand live oaks, so he'd have to replace
13 trees.
Yes, that's what. Is that
Yes, correct.
Go ahead.
Last month, we had a handful of tree cases, and there were some where you said, after seeing evidence, you would have given a permit. You would have allowed that tree to be taken down. After seeing any of this, does that change your opinion at all?
I'm hesitant on what I'm going to say on this because I don't need to get myself in trouble, but I was put on the spot at the time.
Okay.
It wasn't something that was discussed before we came in front of all of you.
That's fair.
And I've explained I don't like be put on the spot based on photos, again, for removal. Someone can take a photo of a tree and show the part that's got an issue, but that doesn't necessarily mean the tree needs to come down till you evaluate it. It may be just part of the tree that needs to be mitigated, meaning removing that section. The photo doesn't tell the whole picture.
No.
And at the time, I was put on the spot at the time for that.
You're the expert on trees. I'm not. I'm just from a homeowner.
I can tell you, if he had called and we'd done this the proper way and I looked at that and I saw how many trees are out there, I probably wouldn't have asked for mitigation based on which trees and how many, because they have X amount of trees.
Yeah.
If it's down to 2 trees left and those 2 are wanting to be removed and you have nothing left, then I would require some mitigation just to bring back some of that canopy.
Okay.
But this wasn't done in that fashion. It was done without any contact or approval or evaluation of the trees.
No, that's fair. The respondent, I think, has.
Come on up.
Yes.
State your name.
And
again. Before you begin, state your name again.
Okay, my name is Edison Montoya. I'm the owner of 11002 Brisdale. He's up. I think he's right of how the sequence went. The sequence was, I did file for a topographic survey in order to bring it to the city and get the trees removed that I need to remove in order to keep the house safe and do the driveway and all the stuff that I need to do renovations on the house. The miscommunication in my part, in my landscaping, was when I sent him to clear the previous violation from the previous owner, which was overgrown trees and landscape and all that stuff, and remove all the dead stuff, I still have a ton of it. I mean, there's still trucks load of garbage that I got to take over from the backyard. That's why I filed for the topographic. There was a miscommunication that day when I told him to go clean and think everything was dead. He went upon and do above and beyond on it. When I got there this afternoon, I stopped it because if not, it would be more cleanup. because I know this was gonna be a little bit more than he should have done. But one thing is, he had told, well, his defense was, it was leaning too much. I got pictures that were leaning against the house. They were already damaging the house. There was someone that were really bad shape, really bad. I mean, I got the pictures. Hopefully I have better pictures than that, but I didn't. And yes, my intention was to get a permit and remove some of the trees, some of the danger trees on the house, because I still have 2 trims leaning against the house that can fall anytime and break more trusses and more damages. That's why I haven't done any more fixing the house, because if I fix a roof, then tomorrow someone comes in, another branch will come into the house.
Thank you.
Okay?
Is there any reason you didn't come last month? Because this was,
Well, because I had the appointment today.
was it not?
No.
This was the one that was extended?
Yeah.
I didn't get, I just got the notice to show up today. But I mean, I just followed I didn't know I was supposed to be here last month. I would have showed up, yeah.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you, Bill.
And the names, I don't know if you would just need to change the name of those other previous owners.
Yeah, I think that was one question I had, but
Well, if so, that's not me, so I'm not guilty.
When did you close?
I closed, what was the day we closed? August. I think it was the beginning of August.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly, I gotta look.
Can we make a motion if we don't have the right info?
Because that's not my information, but
Okay, thank you. Ernie?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's the first I've learned that we've had a property transfer on this, and that it looks like we have the previous owners as being the ones noticed.
He said he closed around the beginning of August, so.
Right. Normally what would happen is we would continue the case and allow the new property owners to correct the violations. Here's the issue. We're dealing with irreparable, irreversible violations. So there really is no correcting other than, we'd be asking for the fine but then we do have the replacement aspect.
Well, I guess my question is, what was on the door hanger? Whose name was on the door hanger?
Would have been the older names, the names of the previous owners.
So
how do we properly correct all that? And if we need to continue it again, I think we're okay with that.
I think it would be cleaner if I'm apprehensive to enter an order today with the notice being in the wrong names. So I'm afraid, I think the better route, the safer route is for us to send out an amended, continue the case, send out get the new owner's names on the notice and everything.
We can do that.
Because it's irreparable, irreversible, I don't think there's any opportunity to give them, the chance to cure. We're dealing with
Okay, so we'll.
tree removed and replacement.
We'll continue the case to a date certain.
All right.
Right. That just got easier.
all right, yeah, a lot easier, so.
Postponing the inevitable, but.
Yeah.
No, hang on. Well, I'll explain it to you in a minute. Thank you.
In case number 25-2999, I move that this case be continued until the next code board meeting, which will be on November 12th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Okay, so what just happened is that your case has been postponed until November 12th, and so that the city can get the proper name on the notice and re-notice the property.
Okay, so in the meantime, I have a house that I haven't able to do any work on it. One of the issues is I need to get a permit to keep doing renovations in the roof.
That's beyond the scope of this particular board. My suggestion to you is to make a phone call, come down, talk to Jack and the building department, and tell them what you just were about to tell me. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Next case, please.
Case number 25-3673, City versus 7608 North Sanibel Circle, LLC, for the property located at 7608 North Sanibel Circle. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-763, tree removal penalty, and Section 12-768, tree removal regulations. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Danielle Batt. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Officer Batt with Code Compliance. This case this evening was initiated by me on September 17th, 2025, in violation of the city's code ordinance. The code sections are 12-763 for the removal of the sweet gum tree without required replacement permit, or permissions, and 12-768 for the removal of a sweet gum tree on property without first obtaining required permanent or permission. On September 17th, 2025, an irreversible notice of violation, notice of hearing was created for today's hearing and posted to the subject property. Requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. Official copy of notice of violation, notice of hearing was created on September 22nd, 2025 and posted to the subject property. Requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. At this time, I would like to submit evidence for case number 25-3673, supporting the case and refer to any questions to the city's arborist.
Thank you. We'll accept that.
Exhibit A is going to be a photo from Google Maps from January 2020 showing the tree present on property and photos on September 17th, 2025 from the original posting of the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and the tree not being there.
Is it just one oak tree?
No, it's a sweet gum. One sweet gum.
Okay, sweet gum. How does that categorize, Joe?
That would fall under the that would be the others, I believe. Non-grands, non-oaks. I believe there's that category.
All other protected trees?
Yeah, all other protected trees. And this was a 16-inch sweet gum. This was initiated by a phone call from a neighbor who left me a message stating that a tree had been removed from this address. That afternoon, I went out there to investigate and found the stump of the tree that was left. There was a laurel oak that was next to it. After the notice of violation had been posted, the property owner had reached out to me about the tree. They had removed the laurel oak, but that was done under an arborist report, which is done through the state approval. Did not include that the sycamore on that, so it was removed without approval or a permit. So
they did have a tree that they had an arborist look at.
Yeah, in the one image that was up there, there was the two trees. The one was a laurel oak that was definitely in decline. That was removed under, so the one closest to the driveway is the laurel oak. The further one is the sweet gum. The laurel oak was removed, which you see in the one image where there's no tree left. That was done under an arborist report. They did not include the sweet gum in that, so that was removed without the permit. So looking for one replacement 3-inch caliper canopy tree.
Okay. Any other questions for the inspector? For the arborist? Is the respondent here? Come on up, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Michael Russo, 7608 North Sanibel Circle.
He was late to the hearing, so he wasn't sworn in.
Okay. Raise your right hand.
Thank you.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Again.
Michael Russo, 7608 North Sanibel Circle. I'm going to have him speak on the issue.
He hired us to take the tree down that was.
Who are you?
Yes, I'm the arborist.
Name?
Robert Zambito.
The name of your company?
Robbie's Tree Care.
Thank you.
we came out and inspected the oak tree. It was in decline. We wrote an arborist report. The sweet gum trees are very widespread, shallow root trees. It's a subdominant tree. We did not include that on the permit. I researched it. I did not find where it was protected. Subsequent to us being notified by the city, I spoke with Mr. Ferris, and he said, yes, it actually is, and if you had included it in your report, we wouldn't have a problem. So that's on me. I would ask the city to let us maybe amend our report to include that tree, because when we grind the roots of the oak tree, it would have compromised the sweet gum. And the sweet gums, you know, really are very low on the protected list.
Any questions for the respondent? Thank you. You guys can have a seat. Thank you. That's the homeowner wanted to say something.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I would ask Mr. Ferris, does he agree with the other arborist's opinion as far as where they are, where sweet gum is on the level of protected trees?
But it is on our list of
Technically, it's on there,
protected
but
trees.
it's
It's
lower
also
on
listed with the asterisk next to it, which is considered a shade tree by our code. So it is protected by our code. Yes, maybe not the best quality tree, but it is protected. So.
And
the laurel was definitely in a condition that if I had been called out there, I would suggest that would have been approved for removal, because it was still standing, and you could see how badly in decline that was.
Okay.
Yeah, what about the contention of the arborist that, the other arborist that grinding the roots of the laurel oak would have compromised the sweet gum tree, to the point where I guess it would have been.
Yeah, it's a potential that it could have, yes, but it would have required either to have been included in the report at the time the report was done. The report states that the statute states that the homeowner has to have that report in their possession, meaning that at the time that tree comes down, that takes the place of having a permit. The tree was already removed. If it was good, they should have been included in that, or I should have been called, and it would have been something we would have looked at and decided, do we take both, and that type of thing.
Okay.
Quick question. If the sweet gum tree had been included in the report, would that have like a material cost? Like, is there a justification for not putting it in there, or is there?
I'm sorry, if they had included it?
Right, would that have changed anything that?
We wouldn't be here.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
Does it increase the price of the permit?
No.
No.
Right, that's so we're kind of talking about a technicality then. The work was done, the research was done, but really what we were missing was the proper paperwork, and that was just due to a basic oversight. Is that
Pretty
summary?
much, yeah. Let me ask you this. He talked about cutting the roots of the oak that somehow would impact the sweet gum tree. Is there a way to mitigate the impact of that?
Yeah, probably not, no.
Okay. Go ahead, Rod.
Is it possible for him to amend his report, as an
because the
arborist?
tree's already been removed. That needs to be done at the time before the tree is removed. So again, the statute states that the homeowner is to be or the property owner in possession of the report. If the intention of that statute and that report is to replace our permit that we would issue, that means that has to be in that report at the time that tree is being removed. And that wasn't included in the report. Whether that was a miscite on their part, it's clearly, you could do a search for our code and find the list of approved trees, and sweet gum is on there.
You had a question, Bill?
Yeah, is there a mitigation involved in this?
It's just replanting one canopy
Replant
tree.
a single tree, right?
Yeah, single tree.
Just want to make sure.
With 3-inch replacement.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, you said that already.
3-inch.
Sorry. Yeah, I think you already said that.
Any other questions? Okay, you guys can all have a seat. Thank you. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll take this one.
Come on up. You want to just hold on a second, Bill?
we have no problem with the tree replacement. Is there any opportunity to put it like on a city property instead of on the homeowner's property? No?
No.
It has to be on his property?
Yeah, it has to be on his property, only because if we put it in the right of way, it becomes the city's issue.
Okay.
And then that becomes the city's responsibility should the tree fail or it has issues. Now, the tree wasn't in the right of way to begin with, it was on the property itself.
I don't know if, the city of Tampa has a lot of requirements, and you can actually pay into the tree fund for city of Tampa, and it can be placed, they pick where they put the tree. That's
Yeah, ours
the
is,
only reason I was
yeah,
asking.
ours is not an and/or for
Okay,
replacement. It's the intention of any mitigation is every tree that's possible for, that to be planted should be. The difference is paid in the fund. So if you have a site where you have to mitigate 10 trees, there's only room for those 5 be planted, the other 5 paid into the fund. It's not a and/or, unfortunately.
And you want us to put back a sweet gum?
No, no.
Can be
just
any approved
any
tree?
of the approved trees on our list that are considered shade trees. There's asterisks next to those lists. So any of those on
You
that.
haven't made a decision yet, so,
Well, I just was asking, I'd like to know.
yeah,
Just
we'll get to that.
I've been doing this 17 years, and I've worked with every arborist, and Temple Terrace is my first hearing.
Okay. But again, we haven't made a decision yet, so,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay,
go ahead.
all right. In case number 25-3673, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property at 7608 North Sanibel Circle. The code violations are 12-763 and 12-768. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement Code Enforcement Officer Danielle Batt, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the violation is irreparable and irreversible as defined by City Code Section 1-63. Therefore, I move that a fine of it was 16 inches, right, Joe?
Yes.
$400 be imposed. I further move that the respondent replace the improperly removed tree by planting one 3-inch caliper tree on or before November 12th, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day. The violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine for failing to plant the replacement tree by the deadline date to be $25 per day.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Go ahead.
I understand a wrong was done. However, as it's been confirmed, it was a technicality. I don't want to set the precedent of no fine, but I would prefer something smaller, personally. The replacement, yes, but I think a smaller fine is more in line.
I agree with you.
Well, I would, same.
You keep saying smaller, what's the number?
I would,
$100.
yeah, I was gonna go 10. Like literally, like it was literally, our arborist said, yeah, we would have been okay with it had we known, and it was literally just not on the paperwork. Like that seems silly to me, so.
I can amend it if you want. I don't necessarily see it as a technicality. I mean, they cut a second tree down, and it wasn't on the.
Yeah, but it was by an arborist who did his research and looked, and he didn't realize it was a protected tree, and it's, as we were confirmed, you know, it was lower on the list of those trees. I don't know. I don't think there was any malintent. I don't think there was, and ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So I don't want to, that's why I don't want to set the precedence of nothing. But $400 over a tree that, you know, nobody really cares about.
I'd like to say that, I mean, just to follow that up, that does kind of fall under the clause of any action taken by the violator, right? He did his due diligence and he just missed a point, just a single point, even though everything else lined up.
He would have had it on the report, so that's why he admitted that he would have had it on the report, knowing if it was protected. So that's my point.
One at a time.
Yeah.
And Joe said that if it was on the report, it would have been fine, right? That's literally, we're haggling over whether or not there was a line item on a report that would have had no material cost to them, so they had no justification or reason to leave it off, right? So they weren't trying to skirt around the rules, at least.
But how consistent do we want to be? I mean, 400 may be, you may feel it's excessive, but 10? Can we, I mean, like I said, if we have a matrix, the point of it is to utilize it. Not saying that there can't be mitigating circumstances, but to go from 400 to 10, I think is a large jump.
I think there are a lot of mitigating circumstances here. Number one, they did some research. So what, they missed one line item. Second point, the arborist and the homeowner are both here, and the arborist is saying, hey, we'll replace the tree. That's not an issue. Like, they're already on board, ready to go. That means a lot to me. It's not someone who's like, no, I don't want to do this. It's like, you know, to me, that means a lot. So I think this is a technicality. Yeah.
Let me ask the director the same question. How does the director feel about smaller fine?
As I said earlier, fair and consistent across the board. It's there for a reason. I've spoken with the property owner. We had a great conversation. But going back to the matrix and our duties here as code enforcement, code compliance, and the city, there's always going to be mitigating factors. I would argue that most people that come before the board are making honest mistakes.
Yeah.
All of them, I would say, are honest mistakes. I think it's our duty to stay fair and consistent.
Thank you. Again, you're under no obligation to amend.
I have no intentions to. No.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, roll call, starting at your end.
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
So what's that equal?
3-3.
Okay. All right, so
Motion fails.
motion fails, we need a new motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Sure I got the right thing. In case number 253673, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code exists on the property located at 7608 North Sanibel Circle. The applicable code sections are 12-763 and 12-768. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Bat, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all which is received and entered as part of the recording of this hearing, record of this hearing. I further move the violation is irreparable and irreversible, as defined by City Code Section 1-63. Therefore, I move that a fine of $100 be imposed for the violation.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
There's
I'm sorry.
the replanting clause. Yeah.
I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I further move that the respondent replace the improperly moved tree by planting one 3-inch caliber tree on or before, I think it was December 10th, I don't have December on my calendar. December 10th, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day that the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine for failing to plant a replacement tree by the deadline date be set to $25 per day.
Okay, now we have a full motion, and do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. So what happened after two motions is that you have been found in violation. There was a flat fine of $100. You have until December 10th to replant the tree, and if not, another additional fine of $25 a day will begin to accrue. Should you have any issues with getting the tree planted by December 12th, or December 10th rather, you can come back and ask for an extension, although no extension is guaranteed, but you can ask, okay? Thank you.
David, you're done.
Case number 25 dash.
No, I wanted
He needs to go.
2 minutes break.
Break? Okay, we're going to take a short break. Go ahead.
Motion to have a break.
Motion, we don't need a motion. Go ahead.
We didn't second, we didn't vote.
Which case are we on?
7.
Number 7, which
Number
is
7?
Which is the first one?
It's the first one.
Which is the first one, David?
2420.
25-2420.
Case number 25-2420, City versus 8727 Equity Group LLC for the property located at 8727 Overlook Drive. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of section 10-4 subsection B subsection 1 nuisance diminished value. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Danielle Batt. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Officer Batt with Code Compliance. This case this evening was initiated by me on June 11th, 2025, as directed by past Code Director T. Baroni. The property was found in violation of the city's Code of Ordinance, Section 10-4, subsection B1, for the overgrowth of grass and weeds, structure/dwelling in disrepair with broken windows, diminished paint, missing and/or broken siding, and the accumulation of tree debris throughout the property, creating a public nuisance which diminishes the value of surrounding properties. On June 12th, 2025, a notice of violation was posted to the violation property, requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board, and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. On August 11th, 2025, contact was made with a Marshall Reisman, the attorney for the registered agent, Michael Leaks, and per his request, an email was sent to him with photos for reference and advising if a permit was acquired or work had started towards compliance by September 1st, 2025, I'd be happy to work with them on the compliance date. A reinspection was done on September 11th, 2025, and the property remained in violation. A notice of hearing was posted on September 24th, 2025. Notice of hearing was posted on September 24th, 2025 to the subject property, requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement, and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. As of my last inspection on October 6, 2025, the property was not in compliance. At this time, I'd like to submit evidence for case number 25-2420, supporting the case and asking for a ruling.
Accept those, thank you.
You'll find Exhibit A is photos of posting a notice of violation on June 12th, 2025. Exhibit B is a copy of the email sent on August 11th, 2025. Exhibit C is photos of the reinspection on September 11th, 2025. Exhibit D is going to be photos of posting a notice of hearing on September 24th, 2025. And Exhibit E is an affidavit of noncompliance and photos from the last inspection on October 6th, 2025.
Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
Anybody is living in this house?
It appears to be vacant. I was not walking on the area that goes to the front door, as it is definitely not safe to walk up to it.
I noticed glass is broken, a lot of, but the landscaping, they're doing something with the landscape.
If you look on the photo before that one, I believe, in the rear yard, nope, the one after that, you're gonna find that just past that chain link fence, that's all grass.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's taller than me.
So that's why nobody lives there. It looks like it needs to be demolished or something.
Looking at it, something is posted on the...
Yes, if you go to,
This is October 6th I'm looking at.
that is a private property posting. It's posted just basically no trespassing. Hence the photos at a distance for common courtesy.
And normally we would get like a separate ordinance for the exterior, the overgrowth, the whatever.
Correct.
The reason we kind of put it all, like, I'm glad that there's one that's all together, to be honest, but we just don't see that often.
Correct. The previous director actually, in the beginning of my career for City of Temple Terrace, directed me to start the case that direction. Otherwise, I would have done it in several different violations.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
So did I hear you say earlier that the owner or the group that owns the house had been talking to you about getting permits to renovate or fix up the place?
I was originally able to get a hold of Mr. Reisman through multiple different attempts in trying to find contact information, which I was able to find. He is the attorney and for Michael Leaks, the other person registered agent. He was I don't know if he did or didn't, I don't know, get in contact with Michael Leaks to let him know. Apparently, I want to say last year or the year before, Dallas would be able to explain a little further with the permitting aspect. They had originally went through permitting to get it demoed, but they never finished getting the permit finalized before even, so it just went without and expired on its own before it was even issued. It was never issued fully.
But they were trying to get a demolition permit?
They applied originally for it.
Dallas, did you have something you want to add?
There was an application for
Name.
Dallas Foss building officials.
Name?
Yeah, he said.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
There is an application in, that site is being to be developed. Mr. Leaks is here, the respondent. They applied for a demolition permit to remove the house due to it being a nuisance. We've had numerous complaints from the police for vagrants and what have you. The permit was never issued because we didn't get all the additional information required, which is an asbestos or lead-based paint report on that house. So it's scheduled to be demolished when they start the process of building on the site.
Okay, so you're still, once you get the missing information, then you'll
They
issue
can issue a demo permit, correct.
What was the missing information?
asbestos and what else?
Lead-based paint.
Lead-based.
Lead paint, any structure that's built prior to 1978 or something has to have a asbestos and lead-based paint report permit.
How long when was the initial submission?
A year ago?
Okay,
It's been a while.
okay. Any other questions?
Oh, yeah, who are you waiting on to give you this report? Is
The owner of the property.
The owner has to submit, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, one quick question. Look, are utilities hooked up and
No.
no water, no?
Water, power, everything's removed from the structure.
Okay.
It's currently just there.
Okay.
Just sit there.
Any other questions? And the respondent is there or representative? Come on up. Name and address first, please.
Michael Leaks, 87, represent 8727 Overlook Drive, Terrace. I am the manager of 8727 Equity Group. And Cheryl, I thought you were retired. I'm sorry. So there's a lot. There's probably a lot more. There's a lot more detail and background here, and I won't bore you with all of it. Just a couple quick highlights. On June the 4th of 2024, City Council had a meeting which reflected in the City Council meeting minutes on June the 4th, 2024. We received unanimous approval for the development of this property. We're going to be developing townhomes there. Immediately thereafter, on June the 10th, we applied for the said demolition permit. Subsequent after that, we got a call from the City of Temple Terrace Fire Department fire chief asking if we could assist with a training exercise, which we allowed, and received a letter of thank you from them for allowing that. That was done on June the 26th of 2024. On September the 5th, we applied for our site plan application. So this is I know you're aware, but everything's a bit of a process. So on September the 5th, 2024, we applied for our site plan application, which is running concurrently with our demolition permit. The reason that the demolition permit was not further pursued was because all of our documents, including everything that was submitted to City Council for the approval of the rezoning, all of the calculations, all of the engineering, everything associated with the site included the house. So we were advised not to push the demo until we had the site approved, because that was part of that. Otherwise, it would change all of the calculations and all of the engineering would be for naught. So on September the 5th, like I said, we submitted the site plan application. In November, I don't have the exact date here, but in November of 2024, we were inquiring on what was the status of our site plan application, which has to go before for final review as well. And we were told at that time, contrary to prior information, because there's been some leadership changes within community development, et cetera, prior to the site plan going through, we had to get our plat documents. So we submitted for plat documents through Community Development Director Greg Pauley, and also several conversations with City Manager Carlos Bea in pursuing that process. From January the 14th through February the 3rd, there was significant correspondence back and forth between Director Pauley and City Manager Bea on what was required for the platting process, which we had already familiar with it. We submitted everything associated with it, and what was supposed to be a 60 to 90 day process is now in its 10th or 11th month. So we continue to be waiting on that to fully pursue the demolition. We're desirous to do the demolition. We want it. We have the wherewithal, the resources to get it done. But we are trying to stay lockstep with the other processes that are in play.
Let me ask Dallas a question before you continue. If they were to get a permit tomorrow for demolition, that permit is good for how long?
180 days.
Okay, so if you were to submit the lead paint and the asbestos test to him and you got a permit, that permit would be good for 180 days. You're not required to go out on day 2 and knock the house down.
Right, sure.
So you could have that permit in your hand and make this go away and still proceed on the same track that you just talked about.
Sure.
With your permit in hand.
Well, that, and that's, and if that's the desire, then we're willing to do that. I mean, it's in there, right? It's only.
And what has stopped you from getting your asbestos tested and lead paint testing?
We don't want that to expire before we do demolition.
Well,
so had we, I'm just saying, so had we got it, it would have, even at 180 days, it would have expired twice, going on the third time. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't have any problem fulfilling whatever needs to happen with the demolition permit. We do, I noted the overgrowth on there. We maintain it properly, regularly in terms of the perimeter. It backs up to the cemetery. So we got kind of there's a buffer there of sorts. But we can proceed in whatever way, but again, we're working with multiple agencies or departments within the city that have conflicting demands, I will say. But if the desire is to get
some clarification here.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for this particular case to be rectified, what has to be done? Is it a permit issue, or is it they got to cut the grass and wood up the windows?
In order for this property to be in complete compliance, it would have to be the grass cut, the corrections made to what's creating the violation. If they were to demo the property itself, yes. Would a permit prolong that? Absolutely. It would allow him another 180 days to get to the next step of whatever he needs it to be. Now, if he can get a permit within the next 30 days to hold on to until that process, the question is how long is an asbestos report good for, which doesn't expire? Okay. Doesn't expire. So in all fairness, he can always get an extension on a permit if it starts coming close to that point.
I might have missed this in your presentation, I'm sorry. But, what we have is a nuisance. And getting the permit doesn't get rid of the nuisance.
Right.
So what I might have missed was, how is all the process? I know you're going through the process with the city. How is that holding up the demo? Why are you waiting on the demo?
Because the demolition, the way we understood it is that the demolition, so the house is on all of our plans. So the house is part of those approvals are related to the way the calculations are done for impervious areas, et cetera, is it's all tied together. So if the house are no longer there, then the surveys, the engineering, all of the work that's gone into that would then be null and void because the property is now just a vacant piece of land.
And it'd be starting it from scratch.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to take the house down as quickly as possible. I mean, like immediately. But I don't want to endanger the other
But your
things
site,
that
your
we've
site
worked
plan's
with
not for the house, your site plan's for townhomes, right?
Say it one more time.
Your site plan is to get approval to build townhomes, right?
Townhomes, yes, sir. Mhm.
So I'm confused as to why,
Or the little house.
that one house would impact a site plan that shows new buildings that doesn't include the house anyway.
No. You want to take that?
The existing site plan for what they're trying to do does show the house on it.
Right, okay,
But the proposed site for the new townhomes, yeah, it's gonna be demolished and gone.
right.
So I'll check with zoning tomorrow and find out what's going on, to how we can get this.
Sounds-
We can rectify this and get the house out prior, that it won't affect the site approval going forward for the
Right,
townhome
sounds like another
development.
postponement.
That's your call, but.
We want to find the best option.
Hang on, Ernie?
If that's what you want, I mean, I'm not suggesting we do that.
Well, it doesn't sound like, it sounds like if we were to find him in violation today, we may be creating undue burden on him to get a permit that he can't use because it's impacting his site plan. So if we give these two guys a chance to work that out along with whoever else needs to be involved, they can come back next month with an answer so that either we're not involved at all or we can rule on the violation.
All right, well, and I don't have a problem with the the continuance. Is there a reason the grass in the back that's really high cannot be mowed in the meantime, between now and next month?
There was actually fill put in the backyard. It's not all grass.
Yeah,
They dump fill back there and now
Right.
grass is growing over the fill.
Oh, is that
There's
right?
dirt
It's
back there.
mounds of-
It's mounds of dirt.
So you can't get a mower back there.
Not over, I mean,
You could weed whack it.
like a BMX.
You could weed whack it.
We could weed whack it, we'd kill it. We could
Yeah, you could
do a thing.
spray it, yeah.
I mean, and actually our intent was that when we demoed the house, we were just gonna lay all of that stuff down. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Is we're just gonna lay all of that down.
Right.
So at that point, we would be doing,
But
so we're trying to go directly
it sounds
from,
like there's some conflicts here
yeah,
that we need to get worked out internally.
yeah.
So you guys, it's up to you guys, but my suggestion is we
I agree with you. I'd like to make a motion to continue this until next month. Yes.
have a motion, give me a date certain.
No, really. November 12th,
We have a
2025.
motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, okay. We just postponed your hearing till next month.
Gotcha.
Hopefully between now and then, you can get whatever is holding up whatever as far as permits and site plans all worked out. You'll have to come back and see us next month, maybe, depending on how you
But
get.
I guess that's the question, because I know for a fact that I'm traveling on that day. So could I go to the December 10th, or we'll be able to potentially get to a point where I don't have to come back?
Well, I don't necessarily know that you have to be back here next month.
Right.
There could be a situation where you could just send an email as to what, whatever you guys, I don't know what's going to get worked out, quite frankly.
Right.
But I think there's a way that we can allow you to write in your response.
Okay, that's
And we can do it that way.
And like I said, we want it gone. Like I said, we're maintaining the areas that we can access, and we just don't want to, because there's mitigating stuff. And I mean, I never anticipated that what we started
I
in
don't understand
November, we'd still
why
be working on.
A demo permit would impact that, but I understand that it does.
Okay, very good. I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right.
Sorry you had to wait so long to hear that.
Yeah, no problem. All right, take care.
Case number 25-2526, City versus Dorothy M. Carter, trustee, for the property located at 400 Ridgedale Road. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection B, MH exterior walls. The case is prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on June 18th, 2025 for stained exterior walls. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of June 27th, 2025. My reinspection on July 2nd showed no change, so a notice of violation was generated on that date with a reinspection date of July 21st, 2025. Posted the notice at the front door, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on September 23rd showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the October Municipal Code Board meeting. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on July 2nd and September 23rd, 2025.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting. Exhibit number 2 shows stained exterior walls. Exhibit number 3 shows a stained exterior wall, and exhibit number 4 shows the notice of hearing posting. The site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling. I did hear from the grandson of the property owner at about 4:50 this afternoon saying that he had done some of the cleaning, but it was too late for me to go out and inspect it at that point in time to see if it was in compliance or not in compliance.
Okay. But as of right now, it's not in compliance.
As of right now, as far as I know, it is not in compliance.
Until then, did you have any contact with the property owners?
I had texted with him, and he had been ill, and that's one of the reasons this thing's drug on since June. He'd had some health issues. His grandmother, I believe, is, I'm not even sure if she's still alive or not, but she had been in some retirement center somewhere. And so the house is basically vacant.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead.
In case number 252526, I move the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist at the property of 400 Ridgedale Road, and that is 8-102, subsection 13, subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before November 12th, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Okay, that completes our current cases on the unfinished business. Before we go to unfinished business, do you anticipate that we will have any votes on unfinished business? No?
I'm sorry?
Will there be anything that we need to vote on under unfinished? Okay, you can go home. Okay.
I can go home?
No, not you.
Not you.
He's got somebody, he's got people waiting on him.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the excuse.
She's like, oh, great.
David, can I go too?
No. All your kids are gone.
Good one.
They're waiting at me at home. No, I'll wait. It'll be taking 2 minutes.
You holler something?
What do you yell?
He wants to go home too.
We all want to go home.
You can go.
The sooner everybody's quiet, the sooner she can get started, the sooner we can all go home.
Unfinished business, case number 25-1861, City versus SRP Sub LLC, for the property located at 12918 Terrace Springs Drive. There was an affidavit of compliance received on September 30th, 2025. Case number 25-1963, City versus Peretz, Roy and Catherine Sarah Lerner, for the property located at 6006 Soaring Avenue. The deadline for compliance was extended until September 10th, 2025. The city received an affidavit of compliance on September 15th, 2025. Case number 24-2001, City versus Deborah E. Holton Fisher and James H. Fisher for the property located at 511 Grand Drive. The deadline for compliance was September 9th, 2025. The city received an affidavit of compliance was received on September 11th, 2025. Case number 25-2128, City versus Mutaz Marzouk for the property located at 7545 Terrace River Drive. The deadline compliance was October 8th, 2025. Okay, and then the case number 25-2391, City versus A&T Hospitality Tampa LLC for the property located at 13294 Telecom Drive. The deadline for compliance was October 8th, 2025. Case number 25-2828, City versus Kenneth D. Williams and Linda Darlene Williams. This was continued for the property located at 7616 North Centerville Circle. The deadline for compliance was October 8th, 2025, and an affidavit of compliance was received September 23rd, 2025. Case number 25-2829, City versus George Edwards for the property located at 7509 Willow Park Drive. The deadline for compliance was October 8th, 2025, and an affidavit of compliance was received on October 2nd, 2025. Case number 25-2854, City versus Robert Lawrence Estes for the property located at 9214 Overlook Drive. The deadline for compliance was October 8th, 2025. An affidavit of compliance was received October 6th, 2025. Case number 25-2866, City versus Terrace Oaks HOA, care of West Coast Management and Realty, Inc., for the property located at 10325 Council's Way. The deadline for compliance is November 12th, 2025. Case number 25-2930, City versus River Park Community Association, Inc., for the property located at 7788 Rosewood Garden Loop. The deadline for compliance is November 12th, 2025. An affidavit of compliance was received on September 11th for section 1112.120.9 for sanitation premises clean.
Okay. Any other board action? Anything on the liens report? New business. I have one item. Just wanted to tell you guys that the three cases are difficult, okay? We all understand that. And now I want you to understand that we appreciate your opinions on all these three cases, and the fact that sometimes this board disagrees on the fine is not an indication that we're not agreeing with you. They do what they do. But please don't take it as an insult, or that we don't appreciate what you have to do on a day-to-day basis, because we do. Okay, I just want to get that out there. There's no new business. We are adjourned. Thank you.
We have to make a motion, right?
We have to make a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
We're gonna follow Robert's rules.
Yes.